Hi, and welcome to this presentation on how to combat the vaping epidemic in our schools. This program is presented by Cincinnati SportsMedicine Research and Education Foundation. This program is designed for information dissemination about the medical dangers of e-cigarettes and vaping, and secondarily for instilling behavioral health strategies, physical activity, and athletics as a substitute to resist and prevent addiction. Taking a look at what Cincinnati Sports Medicine Research and Education can do to help. First and foremost, we want to provide education and prevention resources, support school boards, and support our student bodies. So let's take a look at who's involved in this program. First and foremost are our students, teachers and school leadership, the school board, Cincinnati Sports Medicine, and evidence-based education and prevention programs. Moving forward, let's take a closer look at vaping. Vaping, or e-cigarettes, also known as electronic nicotine delivery systems, are electronic devices that do not actually burn tobacco leaves, but instead heat a nicotine-containing solution that produces aerosol, which is then inhaled. One of the largest companies and makers of e-cigarettes is Juul. Their market share is at 72%, and their company is valued at $38 billion. The danger of Juuls is that they contain 26 milligrams of nicotine in each puff. The nicotine addiction threshold is only 4 to 6 milligrams a day, which is only 30 to 45 puffs on a Juul. Taking a closer look at content in e-cigarettes, there's nicotine, flavoring, glycerin, and/or propylene glycol. Some additional contents include metals like lead and nickel, as well as cancer-causing carcinogens. Popcorn lung can occur when branches of the airway are blocked due to damage and inflammation. Lung tissues can become inflamed around the airways, causing lungs to struggle to get rid of bacteria. E-cigarette vaping-associated lung injury, as reported from the CDC, is linked to the addictive vitamin E acetate, which is responsible for 39 deaths. Vaping is also linked to double the risk of stroke compared to cigarettes. Vaping also risks permanent damage to the developing brains of teenagers. It impairs our ability to fight bacterial and viral infections, as well as reducing the size of testicles through reducing testosterone, sexual function, and impairing fertility. The problem with vaping is that even though cigarettes have been slowly declining over the past 10 to 20 years, we've seen a sharp uptick in the use of vaping, especially among adolescents. E-cigarette use among U.S. middle and high school students has increased 900% from 2011 to 2015. In 2018, more than 3.6 million youth, including 1 in 5 high school students and 1 in 10 middle school students, currently use e-cigarettes. E-cigarette aerosol is not harmless. Most e-cigarettes contain nicotine, the addictive drug in regular cigarettes. Nicotine exposure during adolescence can harm the developing brain, which continues to develop until about age 25. As well, the aerosol that users inhale and exhale from e-cigarettes can potentially expose both themselves and bystanders to other harmful substances. The Juul contains a pod which has as much nicotine as a pack of 20 regular cigarettes. Next, let's take a look at our program goals. This initiative is structured as an education and diversion program to help adolescents in their decision to use e-cigarettes. Our goal is to utilize the principles of athletics to introduce lifestyle modifications that will help impact students' health and well-being while diverting them from nicotine addiction. Our number one goal is education. Educate students, parents, and teachers on vaping and e-cigarettes. To introduce e-cigarettes and vaping education programs, as well as to introduce e-cigarette and vaping education will educate by introducing e-cigarette and vaping education and prevention programming from reputable health centers and universities, and to expand upon them to include programming for the promotion of healthy lifestyles. There are countless programs out there that aim to educate. Our goal is to bring them all together into one program to provide comprehensive education and prevention resources for schools and students. Our programming goal is to deploy a voluntary vaping and e-cigarette diversion program. It's important to note that this program is not designed for students who are already addicted to nicotine. If a true nicotine addiction has occurred, parents and caregivers are advised to seek intervention from a medical professional. Another programming goal of ours is to create a program that schools will be able to reproduce with their available school resources. Moving on to the solution. There are three important components in our solution: education and prevention, diversion, and referral. There's a few programs under our education and prevention programming that we'd like to introduce: the CATCH program, the Aspire program, the Smokescreen program, and the Stanford Tobacco Prevention Toolkit. Under diversion programming, we will utilize the SportsMedicine's Introduction to Athletics program, as well as the My Life, My Quit program. Lastly, it's important to have a referral system in place so that students can seek mental health counseling as well as nicotine addiction counseling. Taking a closer look at these education and prevention resources. The first program we'll look at is the Catch My Breath program. The Catch My Breath program is a best practices youth e-cigarette and juul prevention program developed by the University of Texas. This program provides up-to-date information for teachers, parents, and health professionals, and it helps to equip students with the knowledge and skills they need to make informed decisions about the use of e-cigarettes. This program is broken up into 4 lessons that are only 30 to 40 minutes each.
Catch My Breath is an e-cigarette and juul prevention program developed by the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston School of Public Health and disseminated by Catch Global Foundation. The program is best practices based and meets national academic standards, Common Core standards, and many state standards for health education. Catch My Breath has 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th through 12th grade tracks. Schools may choose to teach the program in any grade or multiple grades, as each track is standalone. Thanks to funding from CVS Health, Catch My Breath is free to schools across the country. When schools enroll in the program, they receive access to all program materials through the Catch.org platform. The online platform allows the Catch team to keep all program materials up to date with the latest vaping products and science, as well as notify users when new resources become available. Catch My Breath consists of 4 lessons that each take 35 to 40 minutes. It's recommended that schools teach 1 lesson per week over the course of 4 weeks. The lessons are a combination of teacher presentations and peer-facilitated small group discussions and projects. Students will assess health hazards and dangers of e-cigarettes and juuls, analyze personal influences and industry marketing tactics, and learn and demonstrate refusal skills. The program includes detailed teaching instructions, scripts, and PowerPoint slides. Minimal teacher planning is involved or needed. The curriculum can be taught in a variety of subjects including science, health, physical education, and advisory or homeroom. There's also a PE supplement that incorporates calisthenics and other physical activities alongside the core educational components and objectives. Before teaching the program, teachers are asked to watch an online training video. The video gives teachers a basic understanding of e-cigarettes and orients them to the program lessons and content. Schools are asked to participate in pre- and post-program teacher and student surveys. To learn more and enroll in the program, visit catchmybreath.org.
Next, let's take a look at the Aspire program. The Aspire program aims to motivate teens to be tobacco-free. This program is online, offering videos and animations and interactive activities that will help inform on short-term and long-term health consequences of tobacco and nicotine use, as well as provide content on new and emerging products like e-cigarettes, hookahs, and synthetic marijuana. The program also helps to provide tips and resources to avoid the temptation to smoke. Again, this program is offered online in 8 educational modules. This program also offers pre- and post-testing, quizzing, certifications of completion, and a reporting system with grades.
Vaping and tobacco use are major concerns in our society today among teenagers.
Many of my friends, they don't see any dangers behind smoking or many tobacco products, especially vapes.
Because they think it's the cool thing, or they see students at parties doing it.
There's all sorts of pressures that come from online, and I think that the Aspire program is just like the first step in helping to change the world and make it a more tobacco-free place.
Aspire is a great online program. It is from a reputable source like MD Anderson Cancer Center. It's evidence-based, and it's meant for 13 to 18-year-old teenagers. And we know now from research and multiple surveys that around that age is when most, if not all, of the children start their smoking or e-cigarette habits.
Those kids who were at highest risk for smoking initiation, they benefited most from Aspire. In a sense, Aspire may be regarded as an educational video game. It targets multiple tobacco
hookahs,
products.
vapes, e-cigs, hookahs, vapes. Would you like one?
Aspire really yearns to tell anybody who goes through the program to help them understand why it is brain poison to have any substance that has nicotine in it.
It's very interesting to the kids to learn that it's not just their lungs that are suffering, but also the other organs and tissues. It's a program that is widely sought after, and we get calls from all over the country and all over the world.
The feedback that I've gotten from most students is that they like it because it's a lot of valid information that they didn't know could happen to their bodies or happen to their friends.
Well, I like how the Aspire program ties in like real life scenarios into the program.
It's not you I don't like, it's the smoking.
It equips you with information and how to prevent others from smoking or picking up a device.
It truly is something that can help our generation be the first tobacco-free one.
Next, the Stanford Medicine Tobacco Prevention Toolkit program. This program is broken up into modules that help provide an understanding of the inner workings of e-cigarettes, the content of the aerosols they produce, and dangers of third-hand smoke. It's broken down into 5 units, which each explore e-cigarettes in depth. The goal of this program is to help increase knowledge about the basic facts of e-cigarettes and the harm that they can cause, as well as helping students to gain awareness of strategies that manufacturers and sellers of e-cigarettes employ to increase the use among adolescents. The next program is another interactive video program. The Smokescreen program addresses a range of challenges that youth teens face with a dedicated focus on youth decision-making about smoking and vaping. This program includes strategies for both smoking prevention and cessation. The program is designed to be a game where students interact with decision-making processes.
Smokescreen is a game about building a personal network of friends, family, and acquaintances while dealing with people who don't always do the right thing, like using tobacco or vaping. In Smokescreen, you are the new kid in school. Your job? Make friends and find cool people to hang out with, be a successful student, and achieve your dream of going to college. There are lots of interesting people you could see being your friends, but you have to be selective. Some people will help you move forward with your goals, but others may hold you back and tempt you with unhealthy choices, like smoking cigarettes. You will face situations where people want you to join them in their poor decisions. And sometimes friends just need your help as they face a tough choice of their own. You'll have to decide whether to go along with them, convince them not to make those choices, or reevaluate your friendships. Smokescreen makes you more aware of how people influence you and how to influence others in ways that can make everyone healthier and happier. Be more prepared to deal with choices that aren't always as easy as they seem. Play Smokescreen well, and you'll make healthy friends for life, creating amazing high school memories and be on your way to a brighter future. Smokescreen is developed by Yale's Play to Prevent Lab. For more information, visit smokescreengame.org.
The next program is the My Life, My Quip program. This is a free phone and text-based intervention for teens and adults who wish to stop vaping. Participants in the program immediately get put in contact with a trained tobacco cessation expert. This program is 100% confidential for teens and does not require parental consent. Beyond education and prevention, we want to divert students into healthier lifestyles. We know that children who are more physically active are less likely to be obese, have higher test scores, are less likely to smoke, use drugs, and get pregnant. Students who are physically active are 15% more likely to go to college, have higher annual earnings, and lower health costs later in life. These physically active kids also will be more productive in work and reduce their risk for heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Active lifestyles and physical activity is an intergenerational cycle. When parents are associated with active kids, the cycle continues through life. In order to include physical activity in our program, we've teamed up with SportsMetrics. SportsMetrics is an internationally recognized and evidence-based injury prevention program for athletes that aligns with our efforts to provide athletics education to students. SportsMetrics has developed a new introductory level program for students of all athletic levels. This program is called SportsMetrics Introduction to Athletics. This program will help increase students' mobility, strength, cardiovascular endurance, and will help them understand the benefits of physical activity, creating habits for a movement-based lifestyle. The program is broken up into several components: education on health and movement, education on warm-up, jumping, agility, strength, balance, endurance, and flexibility. This program will offer online learning modules, video demonstrations. Aligning with the rest of the vaping education and prevention programming, this SportsMetrics program will be offered online in 30-minute modules. SportsMetrics will gather pre- and post-program data to assess participants' fitness, including the step test, hop tests, balance testing, and flexibility testing. The SMIA will come with a manual that consists of 12 modules and workouts, with 6 additional optional days. This program is to be completed twice a week for a total of 6 weeks, and each module will begin with a short educational overview on a health and fitness related topic, as followed by instructional training of jumps and exercises. Next, let's take a look at what implementation can look like. Let's take a look at what schools can do to help. Schools should be replacing their punitive repercussions, such as in-school suspensions, with education and prevention efforts. Schools should be providing behavioral health counseling. They should involve the student leadership and encourage peer-to-peer communication. Students should also involve drug-free community coalitions and start social media and email campaigns. One of these successful email campaigns comes from the American Heart Association. The provided resources include the CATCH program, the Aspire program, the Stanford Tobacco Toolkit, Smokescreen program, SportsMetrics Introduction to Athletics program, and educational material for social media and email campaigns, as well as a local referral source list for adolescent nicotine addiction. The personnel needed in this program include the school leadership for changing school policy, mental health services for identification of addiction and treatment referrals, a healthcare or community health professional for the coordination of the education and prevention resources, and finally the students for program participation and for social media campaigning. In closing, we'd like to thank all of the collaborators who have worked hard to bring education and prevention resources for students. For more information, please contact me at ctmeter@mercy.com